right. We got. Guys, eat all your treats, cats. Come on. They always leave a treat or two behind. I don't know why. Anyway, Gladiator Complex Gauntlet, if you will. So 10 rounds with a minute between each set. You know, a little bit of a break. Not that I need it, but you know, this is more something that normal people can do. Then you just up the weight for 10 rounds. So we start with the 18s, and then we go with the 20s, and we cap it with the 24s. I don't really do much warm up, but I put about 3 minutes for some basic stretching and halos or something. Hi boo. No offense, but I didn't come out here to baby you. Remember when they used to be scared? So it's 10 reps, every minute on the minute, 10 swings, then 8 swings, 2 cleans, 6 swings, 2 cleans, 2 squat, 4 swings, 2 clean, 2 squat, 2 press, 2 swings, 2 clean, 2 squat, 2 press, 2 squat. And then on the second cluster, you swap your squat and press. I have a full minute here. Normally I do 45 seconds, but this is more for intermediate kettlebellers, not people who torture themselves for fun like I do. Also, knees starting to feel a bit better consistently. So I feel like this is a good way for me to reintroduce squats. Although I think I am going to start with the press variant first rather than the squat. It gives me a little more warm up. So I'll do the press after the clean here. It probably doesn't matter in the long run. it's always nice to go back to complexes based around the grindy lifts, your squats, your presses, yada yada, rather than just have everything be the clean and jerk and the snatch. There's definitely merit to using those exercises, complexes like this. To the point with my knee where I am seriously considering going to a doctor, see what the fuck's wrong with it, but at the same time, probably nothing. And I'm just not used to chronic pain yet, fully. And they're probably just gonna be like, ah, you're 31, deal with it. And honestly, I think I would rather hear, oh yeah, you tore your meniscus. Because otherwise, it's like, welcome to 30-ish. And I'd be like, fuck. Everybody warned me, I just didn't believe them. So, I'm gonna leave it, because I'd rather not know. If it's just, you know, getting older, that would suck. Although, you know, 30 is not exactly old. If you look at most sports, that's kind of your prime. We got the squat variant. I would say this is a pretty good intermediate complex. This used to be my favorite complex after I discovered it a couple years ago, after I ran myself into the ground with clean and jerk 3 times a week with the high reps. But it's not as difficult as what I normally do. It's a good complex. You don't need to increase the weight like I'm doing. I'm just doing that to make it more challenging. And you don't need to do 30 rounds either. Again, I'm just doing that to make it more challenging. 300 reps of double kettlebell is a lot for beginners or even intermediates. It's a lot of work, even if it is just the basic movements. So maybe do 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Note about the squat, my arms were like this. Some people might tell you, you gotta have them in the rack like this. or you're not doing it right, fuck them people. It don't matter. You're still squatting the weight. It's on you. Whatever's more comfortable for you. You don't need to hold the weight in the front rack for your squats. It's retarded. You can even, if you want to, prop it up on your shoulders. I find that difficult. So I don't do that, but if it's more comfortable for you, go ahead. So out of this next round, there's a minute, and then I'll switch to the 20s. Well, that's assuming I didn't miss a set. See, I don't think I did. I'm usually pretty good about that. I'm not sure which one I would have missed if I did. Double 20s. Boom. I said before that double 20, I feel like for a decently strong male is the perfect weight for the majority of your complexes. 24s are fine, but like, I mean, even the 18, even 16s, even a pair of 16s, if you can do a few hundred reps of various work with double 16s, which are 35 pounds a piece, you are more fit for everything that you need to do in real life than you will ever need to be. If you want to specialize or like strength or something, yeah, that's not very strong, but just general everyday fitness, you're perfect even doing those. For a dude, if you're a woman, that's a good weight to get to, but you don't need to do that. Honestly, if you're a woman, a pair of 12s, if you can do a couple hundred reps with double 12s, you're stronger and more fit than you'll need to be for most things in life. For pretty much everything in day-to-day life, we'll say that. So you don't have to constantly push your weight up. The past month or so, I focused mainly on 18s again and just cranked the volume. Which might be why my knee's feeling better, honestly. thing I like best about this complex, so there's a few different ways to up the intensity. You can use heavier weights or escalate the weight every 10 rounds if you want, like I'm doing today. You can keep the weight the same and cut the interval. You can knock it down to 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, so you do 10 reps in a 30-second window, and that's good. You can stagger the weight, so a heavier kettlebell on one side, lighter on the other, and you swap. You can do it a single kettlebell and do each side. It's a very customizable. And you can keep the template, but switch the exercises. Like I've done before with the ballistic Gladiator, where I just do the ballistic lifts. So the swing, the clean, snatch, jerk, clean and jerk, or high pull. That was 5, by the way. So now we're gonna do the squat portion. And the best part about it, you can do 30, 40 minutes of work without it feeling like you're doing 30 or 40 minutes of work, because you add in new exercises every round and rep ranges. So like your swing goes from 10. If you were just doing 30 minutes of 10 swings, that's boring as fuck. You do 30 minutes of this, it's not boring as fuck. And you get more variety. So it feels shorter when you're doing it, which is probably the best part about it. That's probably the best part about the template. That's why I like to throw these in at least, well, usually once a week, but I don't have it on a timer. I just kind of do the reps. So I'll do my 10, take a breath or two, do my next 10, and dictate it like that rather than put it on a strict timer. Usually when I do this, I just want like 100, maybe 200 reps, and it's after, it's almost like an active rest day for me. But I'll keep the weight light. I'll just stick with the 18s when I'm doing it that way. I really shouldn't talk while doing this because it makes everything more difficult to talk. But it's not that hard, so like, and watching a video of a guy swing kettlebells around or do any type of workout with them in commentary is fucking boring. And I do not really have the time to record dialogue afterward and upload it. Or the desire, really, I don't. So, yeah. Again, unless I miss one, which with all the talking is possible, we get a minute and we go to the 24th. Now I can't recall ever doing Gladiator with the double 24th, so that'll be neat. Also, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this until just now, but if you don't want to repeat your squat or your press, and you want to do something different, you can throw in the, what do they call it? The Renegade row. Totally slipped my mind. I don't think you need to do rows when you're doing cleans, snatches, and jerks with your kettlebells. In my experience, my rowing strength, easily my best lift when I go to the gym. Like, I just grab 120s without a strap and just bang out 10 to 15 reps. If I use a strap, I can hit the 150s, which are unfortunately the largest they go. With barbell row, 275 strict with straps because my grip will give out. If I'm going a little leg drive, 315. So I don't know what it is about doing kettlebells like this, but it seems to drastically increase your pulling strength. So that, or I'm just genetically gifted in that regard. Don't know. So I don't ever bother with fucking kettlebell rows because for me it's just too light to do anything. So I don't personally bother with them. I don't think you need them if you're doing these. Okay, I will be talking less to focus more on breathing and bracing because it's 106 pounds I'm throwing around, so I need to concentrate a little bit more so I don't fuck my back up potentially. personally, I would not go heavier than 24s on this complex with a timer. So if I was gonna go heavier, I would train it like strength training. So I would do my 10, and then I would just take a minute or two between each 10. If you're gonna go heavy. But again, if you, in my opinion, if you care more about strength, you lift barbells. Barbells are much better for strength. unsurprisingly, this is the first one where I'm starting to feel tested, because it has been a while since I'm throwing double 24s around. Like I said, at a certain point, to get more fit, you do have to add weight. Heavier load just puts more demand on your cardiovascular system. Yeah, I know I did all the squats in that one set. I want to see how my knee would take it. It felt pretty fine. See how I feel later and tomorrow. But that felt alright. I suppose what I could do is climb down the ladder. So I would go back to the 20s and then the 18s. That could be interesting. Do I want to do that? Or am I content with the 300 reps I just did? You know what? I'm going to do one cluster of each weight going down, not these ones. So I'm going to hit 400 reps of doubles. I am going to focus on the press. So I'm going to do the press version for each, just because I don't want to overwork the knee just yet. I really want to see how that's going to hold up. But I'm going to get another 100 reps. I'm not going to reset the time or anything. I'm just going to do them as I feel like doing them. And I will record that too, because why the hell not? But anyway, yeah, the 24s, they're another juke. The 24s can be quite demanding. I mean, that is how I kind of injured myself 2.5 years ago. And why I had to switch to burpees for a while. So like the double 24s are tough. But now, because I've spent a lot of time with the double 20s, I can handle them pretty alright. Also, I'm just bigger. I'm like 205 pounds versus 185 pounds. So with that extra size comes extra strength. So, and like I said, my fitness is better than it was back then too. So yeah, I might be a little fatter. I don't have a 6-pack, but stronger and more fit and more resilient to the heavy shit that I do and the high volume stuff. I think it's a worthy trade-off, but I am still looking to get down to 195 or so. All right, 10 swings, then 8 swings, 2 cleans, 6 swings, 2 clean, 2 press, 4 2, 2, then 2 squat, and then 2, 2, 2, or I'm sorry, 2, 2, 4, 2. There we go. And like I said, I'm not timing this or anything. It's bonus work. If you choose to do this, you don't have to tack on extra shit at the end. And honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna do the 18s. I might just stop at 350. Because like not every workout, and this is something I struggle with, not every session needs to go until I'm about to kill over. In fact, that's probably bad. But it's what I enjoy. I gotta challenge myself like that at least half the time. But it is very difficult for me to be restrainful, to be reserved, there we go, and just do just enough to get a decent workout. That's why I don't like these people who talk about minimalists in the sense of like, what's the minimally effective dose of volume I can get? Kind of hate those people. Like you're not, my thing, if you're not pushing yourself, what's the fucking point? There is a place for that thought process, that methodology, and that is when you are new to training. When you're new to training, you start with the simplest, most efficient, bare minimum amount of stimulus, because you don't have any stimulus because you're untrained. So with those people, they're the only ones that principle ought to apply to, because otherwise they're going to hurt themselves, probably. And if they don't hurt themselves, they're probably not going to enjoy it at all, and then they're going to quit. But also, you don't start training at I'll use Dragon Ball Z comparisons here. You don't start training in the 300 times gravity chamber, okay? You start with the turtle shell, and then you slowly over time build up to the 300 times gravity chamber. That is the only people that should apply to. Otherwise, you should always be pushing yourself. If you've been training for a year, always push harder. Don't try to stick with the bare minimum to make the, progress. Just train really fucking hard. It's like, I don't like Greg, you said, but this thing of train harder than last time. Yeah, if you're advanced, intermediate, train harder than last time. Because you can do it. What is tough about that philosophy, though, and I see why other people, I see the other side of the argument. Some people are prone to overtraining. I'm one of them people. When I do an RPE, I will push that shit to fucking infinity. And I'm like, oh, that's an 8. Let's do it again. And that's why after 8 weeks of consistent barbell training, my body's shot and I lose 30 to 50 pounds on all my lifts. It's like, goddamn. You run the risk of running yourself into the ground. So you do have to temper it a little bit, and that comes with experience. And once you're there, you should be able to balance on the razor's edge, so to speak, to where you can continually push yourself harder, but not so hard that you fall off the cliff, and not take such an easy approach that you regress. You always want to be moving forward without going off the cliff. And you want to train at an intensity that's going to keep you going there and not have you regress. So it's a balancing act. I just prefer to go harder. All right, let's finish this off. $350. So how I feel right now, it's kind of like about an hour of swimming. Yeah, it's about how I feel. So I feel like I've done laps in a pool for an hour. I have no idea what the calorie burn equivalent is, and I don't really care. I'm just kind of chasing the feeling. I would assume that swimming for an hour burns more calories if you're doing it properly, but you gotta, I'm not a good swimmer. I tend to sink. So I like dog paddle, and I'm not good at that. I can't float. I will sink to the fucking bottom. So swimming is not something that I engage with regularly because drowning fucking sucks. And as tough as I am, water torture is not something I will willingly put myself through. It's just not fun. I'm going to do the 50 reps here with the 18s, going fully down the ladder. Why the hell not? And this one will be the squat focus, so I will balance it out just with lighter weight, but you know, I'm rehabbing my knee. Look how fucking soaked I am. Like, you can see they shine now. That's with my sweat. It's fucking beautiful. Still nowhere near as bad as the shit with the 10-minute EMALMA clean and jerk and snatch and jerk. Oh my god, that shit was hellacious. That honestly, those last couple workouts I've done, probably too hard, probably over that nice edge of balance there. In all honesty, that is something I'll have to rein in. because that shit wrecks. Like I do one of them and then like I got about 3 hours before I'm ready to go to bed in the middle of the fucking day and just sleep for fucking 9 hours. Like that shit is rough. It's kind of why I'm doing this today. And why when I'm pushing it here to get the extra 100 reps, I am taking my time. Because the last few sessions I've done, probably the last 6, absolutely brutal. Like I'll do this today, and then I'll come back tomorrow and probably do 20 minutes of clean and jerk with the 20s and feel fine. Yeah, I probably could have done the last one. But why? This is bonus work. I had no intention of doing this initially. Just giving my 300. But hey, I felt good enough. Why not? So now I got 2 swings, 2 clean, 4 squat, 2 press. And I am just gonna do the 4 squat. It's starting to get a little slippery. I tried training in shoes, I don't like it. Like even at the gym, I take them off. There you go. 400 reps of double Gladiator ladder. 1 times. I know the last 100 reps took about as long as the first 200, but hey. Don't rush your bonus work if you do bonus work. And also, that main 30 minutes, especially after the 24s. It's pretty tough. So like that extra rest on that last 30 minutes, or the last 100 reps rather, not just because it's bonus work. I kind of needed it to get through, because like I said, the double 24s will beat the shit out of you. Conditioning wise, you have to get stronger to get more condition. And I haven't trained with double 24s in a while, partly because of my knee. So, yep, you have to get stronger at kettlebells in order to get more fit, because you can grind the light ones into the dirt, which you're going to end up doing basically 100 reps of clean and jerk nonstop, followed by 100 reps of snatches, more or less nonstop, like I was doing the past 6 sessions. Or you can just use heavier weight and get more fit that way. Peace.